Hi, my name's Nick. I'm joined with singer-songwriter Dylan Innes live from RFG Studios. Now, who is Dylan Innes?
Um, make music, don't get enough sleep, I'm a student. Yeah, that's about it.
So, I want to hear about your biggest musical influences. What inspires you to create the sounds and songs that you do?
I think a few years ago I would have said Kanye West because I used to just make trap beats. But I've kind of given up on, being a trap beat producer, obviously. Um, but yeah, I still love Kanye West, and he did inspire me to start producing music. But like lately, I've been listening to a lot of this guy named Jason Molina, who unfortunately passed away a long time ago, or not a long time ago, but a little while ago, I guess. His songwriting is definitely really sick, and I've been listening to a lot of that.
Now, I know you have a long history of creating music, all the way back to 2016, actually. Can you give us a little more insight about your journey to this point?
Well, actually, like the first time I ever produced music was like with my friend. I'm trying to think like what year it was. It was probably like 2012 or something. And there's this online music production software that you can make dubstep on. And so me and my friend, we were just making like dubstep in like 2012. And we called it, his name was Dylan, and my name is Dylan, and we called it Double D Dubstep. And it was pretty sick. But, so that was my foray into music production, which is like, dang, like 10 years ago now. But yeah, I guess it's the earliest thing. And then started making songs, and I could never write a song that was more than like a minute long because I just thought that was so hard. I was like, how do people write like 4 minute songs? But then you just kept doing it, and yeah, I guess we're here now. Hopefully that was a good synopsis, but
Now, let's touch a little bit on 80 Unlacy. Could you tell everyone what 80 Unlacy is?
well, it originally I started off at UNC Asheville, and it was kind of like a started off as like a solo project name, and then I put a band together for it that was Asheville based, and then I so it started off as just like a solo project, and then turned into an Asheville band, and then when I moved to Boone, I started playing with a group of people, and I was like, so what should we call this band? They're like, well, we like the name 80 Unlacy, so let's just keep that. But what 80 Unlacy means is like one day my ex-girlfriend at the time, she was like, I would always drink 40s, and so I always had like she called me 80 Unlacy because like my shoes were untied and I had like a 40 in each hand. So like she came up with that, and I was like, that's so fucking sick. And it was like the time when like 21 Savage had just hit, and I was like, that sounds like a rapper name. But then it became a band name. I was like, so it's cool. But yeah, I guess it just stuck from there.
Now, let's bring it to the present right now. So, I've heard you have a new single coming out soon, Nurse Jackie. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
I could. It so I wrote it after I just finished watching the show Nurse Jackie. I think it's like HBO show or Showtime or something. But and then I actually met this girl that was named Jackie, and she was a nurse. I was like, I have to write a song about this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But I recorded it back in October. It's just now coming out in March, I guess. But yeah.
So, is that what we're here recording today?
No, that I'm recording. I'm starting on my EP. That'll probably be out like later in the year. So I got that single coming out, and then I don't see the stuff I'm recording now coming out until like much later. But yeah. But hopefully this year.
All right, so I want to talk about that iconic Gibson Firebird Zero that we see on the Little Blue House cover,
Yeah.
and it's some 80 and Lacey posts. What is the story behind that?
Well, I was on Facebook Marketplace, and I was selling this what was it, a Fender Mustang 3 amp. It was kind of like a crappy amp, even though I liked it and I kind of miss it. But so I was selling that, and this guy hit me up. He was like, "Would you trade that amp for this Gibson Firebird Zero?" I was like, I literally thought he was trying to scam me because it was such a good deal in my favor. So I was like, I was being kind of like, prove you're real. And he ended up being a super nice guy. And so he gave me that Gibson Firebird and Boss pedal for the amp. I'm like, this I hope it wasn't stolen because he gave me like an insane deal. But yeah, so I actually ended up just selling that guitar to a friend. So it's still in the it's my bandmate Alvin who plays bass with me. I sold it to him, so it's still in the family. You know what I mean? But visually, it's a great guitar. I mean, it plays pretty good too, but yeah, I played my other guitars way more than I played that one.
Right. So I know way back when, I think all the way back to 2017, you made an Instagram post addressing your performance anxiety. How have you dealt with your performance anxiety throughout the years so far? Because I know you've performed in the past recently as well too.
Yeah.
So how has that changed since then?
Well, I used to like before I would go on stage when I first started out, I would literally be like shaking and just like feel like I was actually gonna die. Like just had this terrible feeling. And I just got to this point where I was like, well, why do I even do this then? Like I'm not enjoying myself. I'm not doing like I literally was not having a good time performing. It would be like, we have a great crowd and it was about to be our turn and I would like just feel like I couldn't play guitar. I couldn't do anything. I was just like, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. But then I started watching some like videos about performance anxiety and stuff and just, you know, a lot of things. Like I have like a sort of like a pre-show like ritual thing I do now, which is just like some breathing and, you know, your body language seems to affect your mental state in my opinion. So like I'll just like put my arms back and like try to have like a relaxed demeanor physically and then like my mind seems to follow. So it's like this like weird thing, but yeah. I don't know. That stuff actually does work. Cause I used to just think, oh, it's all bullshit. I'll just like drink before I play. But yeah, that does not work. You gotta like conquer that anxiety with like real things like that you can control. So I don't know.
So I also know around the same time you wanted to become a producer like completely. And you said you had this incredible dream where you met Kanye West in the studio and you gave him like the coolest, sickest piano beat ever. Do you still remember what that is?
I do remember that. Um, I still play it sometimes too, but yeah, I do remember that. And there was a time where I wanted to just be a producer, kind of with the performance anxiety thing. I was just like, I'm not enjoying myself. Like I didn't feel like I was a good singer. I didn't feel like I was like a good songwriter at the time. So I was just like making myself miserable really at the time. So I was like, well, I'll just help make other people's songs. And something always just brings me back to wanting to work on my own music. So, but now we're here. I feel much better about it all.
Is there anything else Dylan Innes would like to talk about?
Um, Nurse Jackie out March 18th. Yeah, follow me on Spotify or something or Instagram. I don't know. Not to make that like a plug session, but yeah. But that's about it with me.
So now Dylan Innes is going to go home and take a melatonin so he can be in bed by 10 p.m. tonight.
Yeah.
My name's Nick, and this has been Boonecast. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. This has been great.
Woo!